Ladies and gentlemen, our fifth and final seniors performance in the final this afternoon. Could you please put your hands together? A warm welcome, Mr. Ben Clarence.
About 15 minutes, there'll only be one of you still feeling like that. In 1871, Adelaide Cricket Oval, or Cricket Ground, was first established. It's not much more than a bit of dirt and some grass, but there's a few mounds for you to watch the cricket on. But it's the birthplace of our cultural identity, our affinity with sport. Over the next few years, it starts to see a few things like firsts. We get the first ever grand final in Aussie rules football right here in Adelaide. The English, the Poms, they come through, they tour Australia and they set the record for a ground attendance right here in Adelaide. And not to mention, of course, the ground itself goes through a number of expansions and changes and renovations over the years. But alas, the vendors said, it's time to declare. Our innings is over. And we stand here now on the brink of the next generation, the next chapter of our state's legacy. Welcome. From the Society, Real Estate, my name is Ben Clarence and I'm here with Brett Reinfeldt. And he's been your marketing agent during the campaign. He's, of course, shown you through and around the property. He's answered your questions. And, of course, as all good agents should, he's returned your phone calls. Now, before we do get onto your competitive bidding, I will quickly touch upon the legalities involved in today's sale by public auction. Today's auction will be subject to the prescribed conditions of auction, and these conditions act as binding contractual conditions. The legal description is all of the land in Certificate of Title 486 Folio 21, Allotment 121, 100 of Adelaide. Now, there is an easement on the landmarked A for the Minister for Infrastructure, a right-of-way over the landmarked C. There is a lease on the landmarked B to the Stadium Management Authority, which expires on the 4th of January 2114, and of course several historic trees dotted across the property, which are noted on the title. Now, the scoreboard itself is historically listed and there is no zoning on any of the land. Now, included is the scoreboard and all the associated infrastructure listed on the State Heritage Register. Excluded is the property of the Stadium Management Authority. Any person here today may bid in person or by their proxy representative. This property is subject to a reserve price. Each bidder must display their allocated bidding identifier, but I will also accept a hazard or prosciutto or even a bit of an age-old classic, Chiselenko from the audience today. Now, I may make up to 3 vendor bids, up to but not including that reserve price. Calm down, sir. And of course, I may refuse a bid if I deem it not in the best interests of my vendor, and I'm not obliged for giving a reason for doing so. Now, the highest bidder at or above that reserve price will be the purchaser here today. And of course, upon the signing of that contract and Form 1 documentation, the property does become your equitable investment, and a property such as this with such cultural heritage, I do suggest you take out that insurance cover note. Of course, there is a strict 10% deposit upon the property, and settlement is a strict Tuesday, the 30th of June 2015. Finally, cooling off rights do not apply to a sale by public auction, which leaves me to ask if there are any questions about how today's sale will be conducted.
Mr. Auctioneer,
yes.
My grandfather, Kenneth Mill, is the gentleman who was the architect for this property. You will have noticed the plaque on the eastern side when you viewed it.
Yes.
Now, I want your personal guarantee that this scoreboard will never ever leave its place, because it's part of our heritage, it's part of our history, not just our family, but the people of Adelaide. They recognise Adelaide around the world, from the cathedral and that scoreboard, so I need your guarantee.
Oh, look, that's fantastic news, sir, and I'm sure you're very, very proud of that heritage, being you are a Milne yourself. You share the same last name?
On my mother's side.
I'm sure it was. Absolutely. But look, sir, I can myself give no personal guarantees or warranties. There is a 99-year lease on the property and it is state heritage title, so you can be assured that the state government is doing everything that they can to ensure that it is protected.
Sure. We shouldn't be auctioning the thing anyway.
Understand. No worries. Any further questions? Interruptions?
If I was a successful buyer today, what would stop me from doing advertising on board during cricket matches?
Sure, that comes down to the property state heritage. This is on the scoreboard itself. Yep. Look, there is already some West End, some god-awful things, but some West End banners across there. Of course, you could probably look at your options there. But of course, state heritage does have its own rules. You'd have to apply, speak to the State Heritage Board. There's a system you go through, but it's pretty easy. You won't have any problems. No worries. Now,
Auctioneer.
oh yes, one more.
I'm here this afternoon to bid on behalf of the Mumbai Cricket Club.
Is that Mumbai, New Delhi, India? Something like that. Fantastic. So look, sir, of course they do need FIRB approval if you are purchasing and it is going in their name over there, or is it a company name? I would suggest you still get your, still speak to someone who can give you information about that. If you've got time, go make a quick phone call, but we'll be a couple of minutes before the auction gets underway. Fantastic. Now in 1911, the scoreboard as we know it was erected. It was put up, and in the next year, they finally put up the clock as well. And in 2015, it still stands there, tall and proud on the northern end of the boundary there. Still mostly original parts, still in full working order. So it's here we find ourselves on the brink of this next stage in our state legacy. Now I've talked about the history of the building and the ground here, but now I want to touch upon a more human side of things. It's 1965 and Port Adelaide are playing Sturt in a ripper grand final. Brings along a record crowd of 62,500 people, but amongst those people, a young man named Graham. He's watching the match and he's loving every minute of it despite the fact his favourite team loses by 3 points. But out of the corner of his eye, he appreciates the handcrafted scoreboard sitting there, put together by the tradesman. And he's dying to know more about it. He goes on and he works in the background of the sports industry for the next while, and after 48 years, he retires. He's scored matches nationally and internationally all around the world, but his love, and he's still drawn to Adelaide and its culture and its scoreboard. I don't normally make a point of meeting with tenants to discuss the finer details of the sale of a property. However, Graham and I did sit down for a little while, and he showed me through the property. He could tell me all about the building's history, told me every detail of the building. He showed me how you could change the name and the score plates. He showed me a little piece of, he showed me how the instructions for operating the various ropes and pulleys weren't written and bound in a 100-page document. They were written in chalk on the century-old wood panelling themselves. He showed me a piece of graffiti on one of the original wooden supports marked D. Lennon, 1996. Probably a overworked and overheated volunteer who paused for a moment between overs. Whilst not strictly a Banksy masterpiece, it's a piece of history nonetheless. And he told me that no matter how techy the new electric signboard could be, there would always be a special place in his heart for this special piece of South Australian culture. Because, and I quote, "You don't got to wait for the ads before the score shows." Now, if your intention with this property has anything to do with the scoreboard, I suggest that you prepare yourself to pry those keys from the tightly clenched fist of Graham if you want to do anything so much as make a touch-up or a lick of paint on that one. Now here, today's auction follows one golden rule. He who holds the gold makes the rules. And with some 8,000 square metres of land in the heart of Adelaide, placed alongside one of the biggest cultural icons this state has, whilst you'll not change the world today, you will change the very face of this state. So raise your bidding identifier, like Donald Bradman raising his bat at a century, competitively and confidently in the air. And if you wish to make your mark on the world, your time is now. I'm in your hands, bidders. An opening bid and offer, please. It's time to make your mark like D. Lennon did in 1996.
5 million.
That'll do. That's a mark. Thank you very much, bidder number 7. Welcome to the bidding at 5 million with number 7. At 5 million.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but
Mr. Notmill, what can I do for you?
something has just come to light. A member of the Heritage Council, knowing our family's interests, has just given me a clause in the document which states that the scoreboard can be demolished under the Heritage Act. And it's if damaged beyond repair. And the problem is we get a new owner in there and they can accidentally on purpose damage it beyond repair, pull it down and put that penthouse up or something like that. So you can't really give me this guarantee. And I'm not happy.
Maybe not, but maybe you can bid on it, sir.
Unfortunately, I don't have the money of you wealthy auctioneers to do that. This is a heritage thing. You should not be going ahead with this because you're not a brad man. You're a bad man.
Ooh. Frightening. If you'd like to register to bid, come step forward, sir. At 5 million, sir, just confirming with you to remind you, at 5 million in the middle here now. At 5 million with number 7, thank you, sir. At 5 million now. At 5 million apiece, first call, second call, third and final call. At $5 million, number 5. On top, 5 1/4. At 5 1/4 now, thank you, number 5. At 5 1/4, same for you, 5 1/2 now. At 5 1/2, the Mumbai Cricket Club, sure they can get it. At number 3 1/4 for you as well. At 5 quarter to, I was about to say quarter to 6. At 5.75. At 5.75 now. 5.75, first, second, third and final call. 6 now. At 6 million. At 6 million apiece, things starting to quarter again. 6.25. At 6.25, things slowing down, but we'll run with it. 6.25, first, second, third and final call. At 6.25. 6.25, looking for a half. At 6.25, and for you, and 6 1/2 now. At 6 1/2 now, 75 in time. At 6 1/2, 75 now on the right. At 75, welcome back Mumbai Cricket Club. At 75 now. 675, 100,000. 685. 685. At 685, first, second, third and final call. 695 now, saw your bid there. At 695 here. At 695, sorry if I'm walking around a little too much. At 695, 250, thank you very much. At 250 puts us on top at 50,000 on top, thank you, bear with me. I'm not good at maths, but I love counting money. 695 puts us at 725, and 5, close enough. And 50 on top is about 750.
You're at 7,250.
Close enough, 725. At 7,250,000, was it?
Yep.
7,250,000. At 7,250,000. This is why we pay in the big bucks. Just kidding. No, we don't. At 7,200,000 and 100. 350 now. We'll park the 7 for now. We'll run with the 350. 350, 450 now. At 450 now with number 3. At 450. You registered to bid, ma'am? You registered to bid?
Yes.
Can I see your bidding number?
Sorry.
Thank you very much. Number 8 now. At number 8, confirm your bid there was 850? 750. Thank you very much. 7,750,000. At 7,750,000. 7,755,000. Thank you. At
7,550,000.
We're trying today. 7,550,000.
Yep.
7,550,000. 550 will park the 7. First call, second call, third and final call. 100,000. Thank you very much. 650. At 650 now. 650, 750 back on the train. At 750. 750, 850 now. 50,000. Thank you. 800. At 800 even. 800 even. First, second, third and final call at 800. 9 now. 7.9. At 7.9. 7.9 is the bid.
Sorry, but a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Of course he does, sir.
This is ridiculous.
But I have to ask you to take a seat back down.
Sir Donald Bradman would be turning in his grave together with my grandfather. Please do not bid. Anyone, if you're a South Australian, respect our heritage and do not bid. Please, I beg you.
Take another seat, sir. Just confirm the bid was at 7.9. Thank you, sir. 7.9. 50 now. 950. 950, sir. I'm sorry, the crowd's against you. We're at 950 now. 25 on top. 975. 7,975,000. 7,975,000. First, second. 50 on top. Thank you. 8,025,000. 8,025,000. First call, second call, third and final call.
25,000.
Thank you, sir. 25 on top. 8,050,000. 8,050,000 now. 75 now. At 75. 8,075,000 and 1. 8,000,001. 8.1. 1 1/4. 1 1/4 now. 25s. It's like it's written in front of you. 8 1/4. 8,125 now. 8. So we're trying. Like us to give us another bid. At 8,125,000. First call. 150 now. At 150. 8,150,000. At 8 million. Small fish are good fish. 860 will run with you, sir. 860 now. At 860, invite that from anywhere else. 70 now, 80 if you like. 70 here. Against you both. So your bid is 180. Thank you, sir. 180 now. At 8,180,000, 90 now, 200 if you like. 190 now. 190. First, second, 200 now. At 200. 8.2. 2,500. Small bids. 8,202,500 dollars. 202,500, 205,500. $205,000. $205,000. First call, second call, third and final at 7.5. That's 7.5. 7.5. 5,000 on top. 12.5. So $8,112,500.
Mr. Auctioneer, you're at $8,212,500.
We'll keep trying here. We've got some visitors here.
Yeah, and they're with me too, because this is for our children. If someone knocks that thing down, it is a loss to our generation of these kids here. So have respect for that. You cannot do this. Please, do not bid, anyone. As I said, if you're a crow eater, don't bid. Don't bid.
Very impressive display, but there's no singing, so I'll ask you to sit back down. That's 0 points for creativity, sir. Take another seat. $8,212,500 right here. First call, second call, third and final call. $8,212,500. 10 on top. 22.5. At 22.5. $8,222,500. First call, second call, third and final at $8,222,500. That's a mouthful. I'll call it again, and 3 times and 3 times only. First call, second call, third and final. You out, ma'am? Just give me the chance to show you that money can make you happy. First call, second call, third, last, final call. No further bidding. Sir, you out. The Mumbai Cricket Club, Football Club, they won't be happy to see you back. Empty-handed. No further bidding. Bid, offered, and sold! Well, thank you very much for your bidding and attendance here. Everybody, extend that to everyone in the crowd here, surely. Thank you very much for your bidding and attendance. It's been a pleasure working with you. I do wish you the best of your weekend. And, of course, go the Cats.